Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Take a look at this headline from the Daily Hodl. Bank with $489 billion in assets explains how crypto can reach the mainstream public. And they're talking about a bank called DBS, which happens to be the largest bank in Singapore. And as it turns out, DBS has for many years supported both Ripple as well as XRP. They've recognized, and I'll show you, they've recognized Ripple as superior to Swift specifically, and they also support XRP because the bank created their own cryptocurrency exchange, and at launch they traded 4 assets, and one of them was XRP, which is not coincidence. And so this article, they shared perspective from the CEO of DBS, and he was talking about what's it going to take for crypto to get much, much bigger. And I'll share with you his specific comments. But it's certainly, obviously, greater adoption. But what he's getting at is having effectively more financial institutions, respected, regulated financial institutions coming into the space. So he's not calling for additional regulatory clarity. That's not the thrust of what he's getting at. He's just saying, you need a mature asset class effectively. But he certainly seems to see the future, and the cryptocurrencies that they're trading, the things that he said about them, it's interesting. So, admittedly, yeah, the 4 that they're trading, the largest, especially at launch, the largest in terms of market cap, and some of the most adopted, certainly at the time anyway. But even setting that aside, these are not stupid people. They understand how Ripple's positioning themselves as the new Swift and how XRP is at the heart of Ripple's entire business model. But so I want to talk about that. And also, on a day like this where price go down, I want to share with you just some positive thoughts because I got excited when I saw crypto prices even lower today. Bitcoin in the 18,000s, XRP around 31 cents. Yeah, I bought more crypto. I'm just going to keep doing this. I mean, if you're going to, market participants, if you're going to keep offering lower and lower crypto prices, well, twist my arm. I'll buy all of your fear. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I record this, XRP is at 31 cents. Bitcoin's at $18,790. Market cap for the asset class down to $962 trillion. Bitcoin dominance tanking further down to 37.36%. So pretty much the whole market is down with rare exception. And it just is the case that Bitcoin's been taking the brunt of it. If you look over the last 30 days, Bitcoin has been outperformed by altcoins. Although what I really mean by that is the market's gone down, altcoins have gone down less. So yes, outperforming, but still. So XRP and Bitcoin both pretty close to their 24-hour lows. In fact, Bitcoin, its lowest was $18,626, so not far from it. And I never pretend to know where the bottom is, but I also don't give a damn because things don't go down forever. And if we're seeing what we're seeing now in terms of the crypto fear and greed index being at 24 out of 100, which is at what it's at right now, market participants for months on end in extreme fear. I know that stuff historically doesn't last forever, so I'm feeling great about this. I just don't care. And also worth noting, I don't want to read this headline, or the article, I want to read the headline from CNBC. Dow closes more than 100 points lower in post-Labor Day session as interest rates pop. So, just the reason I even highlight the headline is to make the broader point. The prices of cryptocurrencies going down has nothing to do with utility. Has nothing to do with the long-term viability of the crypto asset class. Markets are in turmoil the world over, not just crypto. Crypto is moving in tandem with stocks. So, surprise, surprise. That's why I keep highlighting this. If you're scared about, why is my crypto going down? Is it ever going to stop going down? Well, I don't pretend to know the future, but look at how the markets have been correlated for the entirety of the existence of the crypto asset class and draw upon historical reference points that are key and you can kind of come to your own conclusion. There's a reason that I'm not afraid of any of this. Not in the least. I see what's happening with price right now and I feel optimistic. It's the same thing I was feeling when I launched my YouTube channel on December 14th of 2018, right at the bottom of the bear market. I was excited. Why did I launch it at the bottom of the bear market when nobody's paying attention? Because I was excited. I saw the opportunity. And I'm not the only one. But if you're here, I think you probably get it. So maybe I'm preaching to the choir, but it's worth reminding. And so as far as long-term adoption of Ripple technology and also XRP as a bridge currency, I find this fascinating because it's not a surprise that XRP has been doing what it's doing, chugging along, being adopted the way it's been adopted, having existed for a decade now, and it's recognized by the largest financial entities, including banks, on the entire damn planet. So here's an actual bank, and fine, they're not plugged into on-demand liquidity, at least not publicly, and I have no evidence that they are whatsoever. I'm just, the only reason I even word it like that is because Ripple doesn't announce all of their partners right away, but I'm just noting that they've got XRP liquidity, I'll tell you that. And they're not the least bit concerned about what the SEC has to say about XRP. They understand how distributed ledger technology works, and in fact, they launched XRP about the same time the lawsuit was happening, which is kind of funny timing. But credit to XRP community member Bank XRP, who back on August 21st, 2019, shared this from DBS, which points out, you can see it at the bottom, I don't want to read the whole thing, but they're pointing out that DBS, largest bank in Singapore, $489 billion in assets under management, they just happen to be talking about how Ripple's the cheapest option for cross-border payments. They just happen to be talking about it. And of course, this is, they hadn't even announced that they were going to be getting into crypto until over a year later. Take a look at this headline from December 10th, 2020, so over a year later from CoinDesk. DBS Bank's digital exchange to begin trading crypto next week. And they go into no, I don't really feel like I'm just catching everybody up to speed. I want to read this all, but they were trading Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, and XRP at launch. That's it. Noting that that's 70 to 80% of crypto markets anyway, and you can trade them against several different fiat currencies, including the United States dollar. It's just funny. So they just happen to be talking about Ripple, and then a year later, what do you know? It makes you wonder what else is going on in the background, because look, even though I'm against the conspiracy theory nonsense out there, of course there's stuff happening that we don't know in the background. I just don't know what it is, so I don't make wild claims since I don't know what it is. I don't go around saying I believe so-and-so based on no evidence. But yes, of course there are things. There are certainly obviously things. Like that on-demand liquidity Brazil news that recently broke. I was like, well, there we go. We didn't know for sure what was going on, but we did kind of get some accidental hints that seeped out. So that wasn't really on the conspiracy. But I'm just saying that to point out there are actually legitimately big things happening in the background having to do with RippleNet adoption, but also XRP being positioned on RippleNet via on-demand liquidity as a bridge currency. It's all happening. But Ripple doesn't just go announce all of their customers without customer approval. They're obviously not going to do that. And then there was this from this earlier this year. This is what gets me excited. This is part of the reason I wanted to highlight this, and then I'll get to the latest comments from the CEO of DBS. But all this adoption, like they actually at launch, their crypto offerings were only for accredited investors. That's going to expand. So you can just imagine what that's going to mean. So take a look at this headline. This is from February 16th this year. Banking giant DBS to offer retail crypto trading starting late this year, according to CEO. The largest bank in Singapore is making a move towards crypto with plans to offer retail trading services for some of the largest crypto assets by market cap. In a new earnings call, DBS Bank CEO Piyush Gupta, whose name I probably butchered, oopsa-doodles, says that the banking giant plans to expand its current crypto operations. DBS first rolled out its crypto exchange for institutional and accredited investors in late 2020, offering trading services for Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, Gupta says the bank plans on spending the first part of 2022 improving that existing service. And here's a quote. What we are going to focus on in the first half, or the first 3 quarters of this year, is to make the access to the digital assets a lot more convenient, but still in the accredited investor space. Today, what happens is that we're going 24/7, but our customers still need to call and speak to bankers. So the first order of the day is to make it all online, make it self-service, make it instant, and make sure the internet processes are robust enough to be able to support that. End quote. Now, the banking executive also notes that they want to expand their service to retail investors. And so I'll just pause and note, this is the part that is substantially more exciting to me. The largest bank in Singapore, and stuff like this is happening the world over, which is why it's so exciting to report on this stuff. What do you think is going to happen? Because I don't know how many accredited investors there are in Singapore or exactly what the standards are there, but it's a limited few. In the United States, there are intense standards to be considered an accredited investor. You have to have a net worth of at least $1 million, not including the place where you live. So if you got a mortgage, even if it's mostly paid off, that just it doesn't count into that $1 million number. Or you have to have made at least $200,000 a year for the previous 2 years and be on track to do that for a third year in a row. And you got to be able to prove that. Without that, you're not an accredited investor. So that's almost nobody. So if you, whatever the requirements are in other countries, I'm just saying, like, the floodgates will open when a platform like this, offers it to the everyday person. Which is the same reason that I want a Bitcoin ETF to get patched. It'll be great for the entire crypto space because, yeah, there are all sorts of investment vehicles in the United States. There's like Grayscale for accredited investors, stuff like that, and they're fantastic, all that jazz. But if you get an ETF, that's a fund that's backed by Bitcoin that's traded on, like, it could be the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, and then the everyday person who is not an accredited investor can purchase it. Well, what do you think that does for supply and demand over time? And given that XRP and the rest of cryptos on the planet follow Bitcoin, what do you think that means over time? So there's so much to look forward to out there. And even BlackRock getting all this stuff. They're basically copying Grayscale, and they're ultimately, I believe, going to file for an ETF. So right now it's basically just like Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust. They're copying the product, but eventually they're going to want to get an ETF approved. And maybe they will because everything's ridiculous and BlackRock is taking over the world effectively. But either way, I'm just saying, like, times look tough out there, but damn. It just, yeah, it looks that way, but damn, when it comes to the actual opportunity in terms of investing, it's the time to buy is in bear markets. The time to sell is when euphoria hits, in the bull markets, just in a general sense. So as far as what's happening today, this is the latest from the Daily Hodl. This is from today. The largest bank in Singapore is backing cryptocurrency and blockchain tech, despite the regulatory uncertainty and market downturn. According to a new report from the Financial Times, DBS CEO Piyush Gupta, whose name I probably butchered yet again, oops, I doodles, says the recent crypto slump shows the need for regulated financial institutions to offer digital asset products. Now, DBS first rolled out its crypto exchange for institutional and accredited investors in late 2020, offering trading services for Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash. And then they go on to say that denounce the expansion to retail. Now Gupta says financially regulated institutions can help crypto reach the mainstream public. And here's a quote from him. You might as well try and create frameworks and processes to make these sensibly available to everybody instead of having a regulated space and a cowboy space and let everybody go to the cowboy space, end quote. Yeah, exactly. So I'm for sensible regulation. I just don't want onerous, overbearing regulation like the SEC is engaging in the United States. But yeah, having a thoughtful, regulated space, sure, super duper. Who wouldn't have a preference for that? I mean, in terms of at a minimum, protecting against actual scam artists and the like. I mean, I'm sure most of us would probably agree on things like that, right? But what he's getting at here, it's not even as much that we need more regulation now. That's not what he's trying to say here. Effectively, what he's getting at here is we do need more institutional money coming in, and we actually, thankfully, have been seeing a lot of that. I was just reading an article about the tremendous inflows recently is major in the first half of the year. And still a lot happening right now, even if it's slowed down like a smidge technically. But, firms have already been loading up. It's very clear. I've been showing you the evidence for the entirety of this bear market. I've been showing you the evidence, all the data points showing what the big money's doing, how the whales are behaving, the money's flowing in. It couldn't be more obvious here. There's so much opportunity, which is why I think XRP and pretty much the entire crypto asset class is going to be worth in like life-changing amounts of money in the future. It's done that so many times. Now, here's a chart analyst, Income Sharks, who this afternoon tweeted out the following and shared the chart that is on your screen. Early September prediction playing out, following the squiggles nicely. This is now an area at the bottom of the range that I'd start building a low leverage position. Now, I'll note that this is a Bitcoin USD chart, and so he's just in a general sense squiggling here roughly what he would expect over this particular time period. But again, Bitcoin leads the crypto asset class, everything else follows. I understand this, which is why even though I'm pro Bitcoin, I've been holding Bitcoin since November of 2017. It's not the thing I'm most excited about. I don't mind that it's leading the asset class. It's the most recognition, brand cachet, if you will. I don't have a problem. I don't care, whatever. But since I know that the entire asset class moves in tandem, that's why I did what I did today. I bought more HBAR. I tweeted this out earlier today. Just bought more HBAR at 5.8 cents. The lower it goes, the more enticed I am to buy. Dollar cost averaging is a beautiful thing. And I'll also point this out. So I'm at the point where now, I think, what am I up? Since May when I started purchasing bits of this again, I think I'm probably like, maybe it's 78% since May. I've just been just kind of purchasing from time to time, topping off my bags. I'm at a point right now, honestly, I've got enough cash on the site. I don't know for sure how much things are going to dip, but I've been thinking about it. And like, for me personally, and you guys tell me, I don't know if your brains are like doing the same thing as mine, but for me, it gets to the point where like, I don't like to have too much cash in a personal checking account. And I think I do right now. And so I got to put it to work somewhere anyway. And I've just been sitting here thinking, yeah, fine. We all wish that there would have been like a major alt season blow off top like we had in, late 2017, early 2018, but you never know when these things are going to happen. So I'll keep waiting patiently. I'm not complaining, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, I've been accumulating. I also, because my bags were packed. See, that's the thing. Like, my bags were packed towards the end of last year. But now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, even though I feel like I put in what I wanted to put in, there's all this extra cash sitting here now, and I'm recognizing that this looks like a historical bottom region for a crypto bear market. And so, yeah, I've been buying a ton of HBAR. I bought some algo recently, in recent months anyway. I may at some point here put a pause at HBAR since I'm up almost 100% on that since May. Maybe I'll make that a stretch goal. I'll think about that. But I think I just need to put the damn money to work. They say you should only invest what you're willing to lose. Well, as time passes and I have more and more cash, I don't have to put all of it in necessarily. I do want to hold a chunk down just in case we actually do get some major leg down, because that will really get me excited. That'll really rev my engine, so to speak. So I am keeping that in mind as well, but it's just so much time has passed, and I'm like, where do I really want to put this right now? Mutual funds, the stock index. What am I going to do? So I'm just, because I know where the greatest returns are, and I do believe in balanced portfolios, and I'm not talking about crypto, just in general in life. But I have a plenty in traditional investments, let's say. So I'm just sitting here thinking, even if it might be a greater percentage than what I thought I'd necessarily put in years ago, at the same time, I've also been earning that whole time, a certain amount. And I don't know, I'm kind of looking at it a little bit differently as time passes because circumstances change. So I guess it's kind of a long way of saying, I think I'm going to buy a metric F-word ton of crypto. Like that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So I'll be happy to talk about that, as I go about this journey. And I'll probably just, be dollar cost averaging in over the coming month or two in particular. But right now, I mean, if this really is the bottom of a bear market, then we're not going to see another euphoric blow off top for over another year probably. I mean, things could still start to get exciting, don't get me wrong, but I want to take advantage of where we are now. Even if we go lower, I'm not afraid of it. This is kind of the way that I'm thinking about it. But just seeing HBAR today at 5.8 cents, and now it's at 5.9 cents, with an all-time high of 56.9 cents. It is way, way, way down. So, man. And I'm down on this investment, by the way. I have no shame in saying that because I just don't care. It doesn't. I'm a long-term dude. It doesn't matter. I don't think this thing's going away. So even setting aside the entire crypto asset class moving in tandem, if you look at who's backing HBAR here, Hedera Hashgraph, let's just say some big names. I've cited them on the channel before, but I don't want to make this just a purely HBAR video. There's just so much damn opportunity. I don't get how people could just I get it sort of, but they're so into crypto. They're so excited. They're in the euphoric top. And now when there's even greater opportunity to prepare oneself for life-changing wealth, 75% of those who were interested a year ago are just gone. There's not even paying attention to the greatest opportunity probably in their lifetime. Which is why I say kudos to you, not specifically for watching my channel, although I do, of course, appreciate the support, always. I'm very humbled by all the support. I'm just saying, if you're paying attention to crypto in general, you're on the right path. You know, I personally believe anyway. So you do whatever you want, but those are just some of my general thoughts. I'd love to see hear the way that you all are approaching this and how you're handling this crypto downturn, let's call it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.